A lot of the books and podcasts I've been listening to and reading have been lately talking about how long game is more important than short game. That goes against a lot of conventional wisdom. For a long time, people have talked about how much more important short game is. But if you think about it, if you take a pro and an amateur, they're both going to make almost all of their putts 3 feet and shorter, and they're both going to miss almost all of their putts 15 feet and longer. So while pros do gain on AMs, the gap is really not that big. It would be very difficult for a pro to gain 2 strokes on an amateur on the green putting, but one OB drive or bad shot can easily set you back 2 strokes. Like you see that bad 3-wood, I got lucky there and bounced off a tree. But the focus on short game is still good, especially if you're not very good at chipping or if you're averaging more than 2 putts per hole. It is a fast, easy way to improve your scores. But the long game is where you can really start working your handicap down lower if you have a good focus on that. It's just a lot more work. So the long game's a long game. You can see here, I laid my third shot just short of the green, and I'll chip on there in 1 putt for my first hole, first par. Now today I decided I was going to focus on the long game and just try to really rein that in after reading all this content and seeing what that did for my score. You'll see I was able to have a decent long game, barring a few shots like the one you're about to see. But a couple of 4 putts, a couple of 3 putts, that's not going to lead to good scores. So my putter was wild today, and I think it's largely due because I couldn't even get comfortable in my stance. You'll see me standing quite awkwardly over the ball on my putts quite a few times. Anyway, I shanked that tee shot on number 2, 170-yard par 3. And I had about 40 yards left to the green. Took this wedge up there. And my biggest concern was just to get that on the green. So I knew I'd probably go long because we had a front pin placement there. And I did in fact go long there, but I also set myself up for a par-saving putt. Granted, I won't make it. For those of you that haven't tried AimPoint, I know a lot of people make fun of it, but it's really helped me read greens better. I just do a quick little setup feel when I don't know if the putt's going left or right. Stand there, see if I can feel my weight shift, just about hold that, but ran a couple feet past the hole. So AimPoint, you just feel if you can see your weight shift, and then you have an idea of which direction it's going. You can also get an idea of how hard it's going that direction. With my eyes, I'm terrible at doing that. So, all right, third hole, second time getting the driver out. Hit too big of a fade there. Luckily, I came out okay past those trees. I did record on course this time. I'm experimenting with that, but it was a very windy day, and the wind just made my audio recording sound like garbage. So I deleted that, and I'm just doing my voiceover at home here. That 8-iron I just hit was actually, it felt pure, felt perfect, but the wind just knocked it down, pushed it right. So we were short of the green. Again, my focus was just getting on the green here, which I did. Thought I had a decent chance at a hole in this putt as well, but I left it short, right on the right line. And we'll go tap that in for bogey. So we went par, bogey, bogey. Next hole is a par 5, and again, I'm focusing on long game, but I blocked this one out a little bit as well, pushing it to the right into those trees. Now this hole, it's Davis Park in Fruit Heights, Utah. They actually call exactly where I hit that Eagle Alley, because as long as you're not behind this tree like I am, you have a straight shot at the green. But I decided to just lay up here, took my pitching wedge, put it out on the fairway, put myself in a really great position to just get my green in regulation and get my 2-putt par. But instead of doing that, blocked it out. I also thought the wind would help me there. It was really blowing, but I did not get any help from the wind and ended up landing right in the sand trap. Took a sand shot here. It was a tough position, not a lot of green to work with. I was just trying to pop it over that ledge, and I went too far, and I thought I rolled into the other sand trap, but held up by just a few inches. I just had to stand in the other sand trap, you'll see. And I hit a really great chip so that I could once again save a bogey. I thought the chip was going in. It looked pretty stinking good. Guess I shouldn't have told you that. Little spoiler for you. Yeah, see? Oh, looking good. Oh, no. Surprising, right? You thought it was going in. All right, so knocked in that putt, saved my bogey. Moving on to hole 14, it's a par 3. And I told you earlier my long game was pretty decent, but I'm seeing a lot of bad shots here. So looking back over this, it's good for myself too, to realize my ball striking sucked this round. All right, so I was short and right, and I had about 50 yards into the green. Had to kind of stay left of the bunker, which got rid of a lot of green for me. So I was just hoping to bump it up there, but I got a little too much and took it right over the green. Shot 3 on the par 3. We're chipping. You know, I had a few good wedge shots today. That one felt really good. But just took it a little past, and a little 4-foot knee knocker. Of course, we're not going to make that. Garbage. Just garbage with the putter today. Garbage with everything, really. All right, next hole, par 4. Reachable on a good day. I know it says 350 there, but on the tees today, it's more like 300. Faded this one hard. Maybe slice. Yeah, that's a slice. I sliced that one. But I did get a hold of it. Had about 100 yards in, and I chunked that wedge there. Really just solid golf. Now I'm down to about 75 yards. Third shot, and I think it's on the green, if I remember right. It might be on the fringe. Let's take a look. We're on. So this, you can't tell here, but it's a crazy steep downhill putt. When I hit that, I thought, oh my gosh, it's only going halfway to the hole. What have I done? And this is that awkward putting stance I was telling you about. But that thing just kept running. And of course, let's miss another 4-footer, like a big dingus. Boop. Awesome. 3-putt double, baby. All right, on to hole 16. Wind almost knocked my tripod over here. I had it leaning against my golf bag. That's the only reason it stayed up. But finally got a green in regulation. All right, it's been 5 holes since we got a par. We should be able to do it here, right? 25-footer up the hill, just put it close. Oh no, let's rocket launcher it past the hole. That's okay, we only got 4 feet left. We all know how Jake's doing with 4-footers today. Boop, missed it. Okay, that's all right. Just take our bogey and walk away. Just kidding. We'll miss that one too. Thank you, double bogey. All right, 4-putt for double. Pretty neat stuff. Now here, last 2 holes, the driver kind of finally found itself, and I just went for it and took it about 300. Big draw right in the middle of the fairway. Horrible form. Looking at this, my weight was all on my back foot, which is not ideal, of course. But good result. So great, we got 100 yards into the hole. Let's hit a chunky wedge and leave ourselves another 25. Brilliant. Really good golf you're witnessing here. Okay, 25 yards. This is dropping in close. Try to save par. Oops, hit it low, about 30 feet past the hole. Awesome. All right, I know it doesn't look like 30 feet angle. It might be 25. Anyway, it was well past the hole. Just like this putt. Big downhiller. I didn't see the downhill on that, and it just ran on me. Okay, comebacker for bogey, 10-footer. Boom, barely. Little 360 for you, ring around the hole. All right, moving on to 18. This is a very reachable par 4, and I decided to go for it. Ooh, that felt good. Stay out of the sand, stay out of the sand, and it stayed out of the sand, just on the fringe there. Walk up to the ball, got a great look here, just get it close and get a birdie. Worst case, I'm going to get it somewhat close and 2-putt for par, right? Again, you can't tell here. That putt is a lot longer than it looks, probably about 15 feet. It wasn't that great of a chip. Just high. All right, comebacker for par. Here we go, no problem. Nope, run it down the hill. Okay, that's okay, get our bogey. Nope, yeah, I need to take my stinking time on those suckers. Double bogey, 4-putt. Those 4-putts were ruthless today. Let's go home.